Nobody gets sick.
Buffer, I've hit record, so whenever you want to start.
All right, Eddie, ready to have some fun?
Am I good with the angle?
You're good.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
real close up of that handsome face, you know. All good. Hey, where there's snow on top, there's still fire in the furnace. Look at that beard. I like it.
I dye it blonde because the girls like it. But I'm going to go back to my original color and just leave it black.
Don't you have gray hair?
No, I dye this. This is dye.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Fuck outta here.
Buffer will believe anything.
I know.
Anything.
He believes COVID.
Damn right I do. Damn right. Okay. Hey, you know what, Eddie? So I got an elderly mother. I got to take care of my mom. She got it.
Yeah. Old people. Yeah, we got to take care of them.
Definitely. From the shores of Malibu where the waves are pumping, to the Great Wall of China, and back to the streets of Las Vegas where the UFC is coming. We are live. It's It's Time Radio, the show we talk about what you think about, but may be afraid to voice. Don't worry, we'll talk about it for you. We talk about sex, drugs, rock and roll, UFC, everything you can think of under the sun, sports, entertainment, film. And right now we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We started off with a subject. We're going to go right into that subject. I'm here with my co-host and producer, TJ DeSantis, and Jiu-Jitsu master extraordinaire, comedian, funnier than hell. You know him, I know him, and if you don't know him, you're going to get to know him right now on the show. Eddie Bravo. Hi, Eddie.
How you doing, Bruce?
I'm doing good, baby. Big kisses. Love it. You get that close. Give me a kiss. All right. So listen, we were talking about something I put out on my Instagram today. 1998, UFC Japan, right? We're done the tournaments. We're in the single fight arenas, single fight a night. Out comes the legendary Kazushi Sakuraba fighting Conan Silva, fine fighter in his own right. Great coach now to many fine UFC fighters.
But nobody knew who Sakuraba was back then.
Back then they didn't.
Nope.
There was a nobody.
Nobody.
Well,
and
real
the video
quick,
I showed is,
hang on one second, Buff. Wasn't he a bigger deal though in pro wrestling in Japan? Like,
yeah.
I think he was an established pro wrestler at that time, but
Very
as far as the
established.
American audience was concerned, no idea.
Very established.
No idea. Yeah.
So we're showing the video on the show, and what you see, this is what happened. This is 1998, Tokyo, Japan. I forget how many people in the arena, 20,000 or more, whatever, packed. Asian audiences, Japanese audiences, very different. Not that all audiences don't show respect. They sometimes are very quiet to people at the ground, then they go crazy. It's a different type of respect and pride factor to a degree in the martial arts. And it was exhibited on this night because when Conan was against the cage, Sakuraba went in for a double leg takedown. Sakuraba hit the ground. Big John McCarthy thought that Conan had knocked him out or knocked him to the ground, called the fight, right?
Yep.
That was not the case. And Sakuraba was so upset, and I'm doing my job. I'm doing my announcing, and he's so upset he comes at me. And as he's coming at me, I'll be honest with you guys, I thought he was so pissed off that I was going to catch a punch or something, okay? And I was ready to do whatever I had to do in my non-professional fighter way, okay? And nobody gets my microphone, right? That's one of the first rules of the thumb. And Eddie, you know this because you've done enough work with a microphone. You don't relinquish your microphone. You don't relinquish your weapon. You never do. So
yeah, that's one of the 10 commandments of commentating.
Exactly.
It's the first
Eddie.
one, to be honest with you, in my opinion.
Yeah, the first one, first and foremost. So with that being said, he was really ticked off. Things happen. The audience is completely upset, right? This is the Japanese audience. The officials outside. It got to the point in the old days of the UFC. Remember, in 1998, we're only 5 years old at this point, and we didn't have the established rules that we have today. So the fight got called. It goes back. Everything comes to a halt, right? We lost Eddie. Eddie, we lost your video.
No, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We don't
hear you, but we need to see you, buddy.
What about now?
Nope.
You're an invisible Eddie Bravo. There
Now
you
we
go.
got him.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So
you know
think
what I
about the
did?
turmoil that happened.
You know what I did? I screenshotted our conversation so I could send to my wife. And then that took the video off for a second, I guess. I
That's
just wanted
okay.
to show my wife what a badass I am. I'm having a conversation with the great Bruce Buff.
Thanks, Eddie. You and my mom think that, then I'm very happy. So anyway, I don't know exactly how long, but it went dormant. The whole fight night went dormant for like 20 minutes or more. Bottom line, after that happened, for the first time and the last time in UFC history, they had to come out and fight again.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I think that it worked out because Sakuraba lost to Conan in the first round of a tournament. The other side of the tournament, the winner of that fight, I can't remember who it was injured. So Sakuraba was able to come back as the replacement to fight Conan in the finals.
I don't remember exactly how it happened, but they fought again.
Yeah. And then we all know what happened.
But that's never happened before.
No.
And then Sakuraba won.
And Sakuraba won. Yeah, which was amazing.
He got an armbar on Conan Silveira.
And the word that I got, Octagon side was that if he didn't fight again, people were actually ready to walk out of the arena. Right? That mentality.
Yeah.
I mean, Japanese fans are pretty polite. They would have done it, but they would have said, "I'm sorry, I'm leaving."
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's the video, a little part of UFC history, a little part of young buff history. My hair was pretty black with the little gray thing still happening here. So somebody sent me that video. I thought, oh, that's
all
hilarious.
this talk about hair today. You guys are dicks.
Hey, I shaved my head for a little bit a couple of years ago. I
remember. I remember.
Yeah, for a little bit. And then I started using Rogaine again to try to get it back because I started losing all my hair once I stopped using Rogaine. I was using Rogaine since I was 19.
You were losing your hair at 19?
And yes, because my back when I was 19, I had real long hair and metal was huge and long hair was crucial. Long hair, and I had long hair. And I would have nightmares that it was gonna fall out and I was gonna lose. I had nightmares that people cut it. So once I heard and I saw my grandpa and my uncles, they were bald. So I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna lose this. So once Rogaine came out, back in the day, you had to get a prescription for it. So I went into a doctor's office. This guy was like 102. And he said, and I'm 19. He goes, "What are you doing here? You want Rogaine? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, I got to start early because my grandpa and uncles are bald. I can't afford to lose my hair. So I started at 19. Then I stopped like 5 years ago. This whole time I was using Rogaine just to keep the baldness from happening. And then I said, fuck it. I'm just going to let my hair go gray and stop using Rogaine. Fuck it. It's got to be bad for you. It can be good for you. And then I lost all my hair. And I go, really? Fuck.
Probably was so used to the Rogaine
using
power.
It again. And I said, you know what? I got to start using it again. Fuck that. I'm going to go out with my boots on.
Well, you got a great look, Eddie. Keep the great look. It looks good. Whatever you're doing.
I might dye this again. I might dye it. Maybe I dye it blue or pink in support of the Joe Biden campaign.
Hey, Eddie, all I can tell you is where there's snow on top, there's still fire in the furnace, and God knows you've got a furnace. So,
oh hell yeah, I got a big ass furnace.
All right, don't get too personal now.
I got a space heater.
Okay, Eddie. I want to go into the UFC 280. Everything that happened this weekend in Abu Dhabi with you it was quite an exciting show. Want to get your opinion on a couple of things. Let's start off with the Piotr Jan Sean O'Malley fight. Okay, it was 29-28, split decision. How did you see the fight, Eddie?
It could have gone either way. I mean, Sean did hurt Jan pretty bad, and so did it went the other way too. So it could have, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think could have gone either way, but the fact that Sean won, maybe it's better for the sport because he has such a crazy personality. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like both fighters. I do. I like them both. And I like Sean O'Malley because he likes to smoke weed. So I'm with him.
Well, on my own personal thought about it is, and you brought up a key point. Obviously, O'Malley winning is better for the UFC because he is, with all respect to Piotr, he is the more marketable fighter. Okay. He does have what I call that it factor, the Conor McGregor it factor, the Rousey it factor. So from a standpoint of the popularity of the UFC and the future of his financial income and everything else, this was an explosive fight. He bounces right into the top 10. I think it gone either way, but I had no problem declaring Sean O'Malley the winner in this fight.
The bottom line is when you say the fight could go either way, it can't be a robbery. And I think a lot of people think that it's a robbery for whatever reason. Who's that cat?
Oh, that's my cat, Nerdy.
Nerdy?
Oh, cute.
Nerdy.
She
has a suckling disorder. She just wants to, whenever she gets pet and gets love, she starts sucking on her own arm.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like it's a weird suckling disease. See how she's sucking her own arm?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Because anytime she gets love, she just starts sucking on her own, and her eyes roll back in her head. She goes in a trance. It's some kind of love trance. It's crazy.
Dang.
Sounds like a lot of self-satisfaction to me.
Oh yeah, she's jerking her arm off for sure.
All right, so I'm
All
calling
right.
Sean O'Malley the winner. I would have had no problem either way. It's very exciting to see O'Malley's career going on. This kid's going to make a lot of money, as I wish every fighter makes tons and tons and tons of money. But he's got a very bright future ahead. Who the heck is he going to fight next?
One of two options, I think. It's either going to be Aljamain Sterling or Cheeto Vera.
Yeah, Cheeto Bear rematch would be nice.
I'd like that fight a lot.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
And the only way I think the Cheeto fight for O'Malley makes sense is if Henry Cejudo comes back and fights Sterling for the belt.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Aljamain Sterling for a second. Aljamain and TJ went at it. TJ's arm popped, as we know. TJ was popping it in training. Supposedly, from what I heard from Dana, the UFC was not aware of that, or Dana was not aware of that. Sterling reigns supreme. Nothing against TJ. I think TJ is one of the greatest bantamweights ever to step foot in the octagon, barring the past history with the PED situation and everything else. But now they're talking about, okay, Sean O'Malley could have a chance to go against Aljamain, but they're talking about walking in Henry Cejudo, right? And, retired a champion, the whole bit. Great fighter, great athlete. There's no question. How do you guys feel when you have that situation? It's almost similar to like bringing Conor McGregor in and putting him right at the top fight, which is a combination of matchmaking and marquee marketing, making money value. We know that. How do you feel about bringing Cejudo in when people like O'Malley are standing in line and have been fighting actively? How do you feel about that, Eddie?
This is a individual sport. It's not a team sport. Everyone's got their own managers, their own contracts, their own goals in life. You bring them in, you take them out, you bring them back in. That doesn't bother me at all. I just want to see the best fights, and we could see that with what Jake Paul's doing. He's just doing random, weird super fights, and people want to see it. People aren't that concerned with who was in line and who's ranked. We just want to see great matchups, and we don't give a fuck if it's the ranked number 4 against number 2. We just want to see big names. I want to see Henry Cejudo come back, bring his ass back. That guy was the champ. Bring his ass back, put him against anybody. I will see it. I'll see you bring Ken Shamrock back. I'll see that shit too. You bring Royce Gracie back. People were like complaining. Remember Royce Gracie versus Ken Shamrock, that last one? People were talking all sorts of shit. But you know what? Everybody saw it.
That's right.
Everybody saw it. Everybody saw Royce Gracie, Ken Shamrock, the last one. Every single MMA fan saw it. So all this shit talking, like who's standing in line, whatever. I love Sean O'Malley. Smokes a lot of weed. You know, I'm with that. Bring Henry Cejudo back. I think Aljamain is super underrated. That guy, I mean, that fight that happened with Peter Yan the first time and all that weird shit, forget about that. That dude has some high-level jiu-jitsu. That guy is a legit as fuck. That guy's jiu-jitsu is high level. He was all over TJ. I know he had a broken shoulder or something, but I think it would go down the same way, man. Aljamain got some high-level jiu-jitsu. He might have the best jiu-jitsu in that division, maybe.
Listen, I'm all about. I agree with you completely on every point you made, because I'm fine with Henry coming in. It's entertaining. It's marquee value. That's where we want to see the best fights. That's the beauty versus boxing, when there's so many different promoters and they can't make the best fight the best all the time, or make the deals for such to happen. UFC can do that. So bring in Henry Cejudo. Okay. That's fine. Sean O'Malley just fought. He'll get an opponent. He'll make a ton of money. Everybody's happy. The future's golden. There's nothing more exciting than the impending event. Let's see the fight.
Exactly. Yeah. Bring him in. Bring back like all the greats. I love it when MMA greats come out of retirement. Let's see them all back. I would love to see Randy Couture versus Chuck Liddell again. I would see that again. Let's see it.
Even now, Chuck and Tito fought. You want to see Chuck? You want to see Chuck step in the octagon again?
Why not? If he wants to do it.
Now I just want to know
Chuck will want to do it till he's 65 years old. He's not going to turn down a fight.
Yeah, everybody knows the danger. What are you going to get knocked out? Whatever. You lose a couple memories. Everybody knows the danger. I was like, oh, it's so dangerous. Everybody knows the danger. That's why they get paid. You get paid because it's super dangerous. And if you know it's dangerous and you're still doing it, then okay, that's our entertainment. Race car driving is super dangerous too. You can get killed like easily in NASCAR, but no one's trying to stop that shit.
You know what I want now though, Eddie, is now I'm thinking about Randy Couture doing combat jiu-jitsu, because
hell yeah,
I think everybody should do combat jiu-jitsu. Anybody that was a fighter that still wants to fight, and maybe it's past their prime or they shouldn't get hit in the head anymore. Have them do combat jiu-jitsu.
I'm trying to set up a combat jiu-jitsu special match with Jake Shields. Trying to find an
that'd be
opponent.
awesome.
Yeah. For the December show.
I've got a name for you. I don't know if it would work, but I got a name I'd like to see fight Jake Shields.
Okay, let's hear it. Who?
Jason Mayhem Miller.
No, we got to go with the way we do it. We got to get a UFC MMA fighter against a sub-only jiu-jitsu fighter. So it's like we meet in the middle. That's what combat jiu-jitsu is about. Like having a combat jiu-jitsu match with two UFC fighters, that's not that there's nothing there. But having a combat jiu-jitsu match,
they got a rivalry though, Eddie. Mayhem and Jake Shields, they got a rivalry.
It's a rivalry that only we recognize. The modern day fans don't know that.
Come on.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But we're trying to push sub-only jiu-jitsu guys versus UFC stars meeting in the middle, right there. Combat jiu-jitsu.
I like
meet
that.
In the middle.
I like that.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Which is why you're going to have Elias Anderson fight Uriah Faber.
A what?
Which is why you're going to have Elias Anderson fight Uriah Faber. Yeah.
Exactly. We get that.
So I love that fight, by the way.
Let's educate the audience for a second. Is the UBI event and everything else, which I
love
to announce.
Did you say?
I just said UBI. What did I?
UBI?
EBI.
It's not universal basic income.
Something like that.
You've been hanging out with Andy.
Hey, I've been punched in the head too, Eddie. I've got some memory loss also. So EBI.
The same Bernie Sanders MMA.
So EBI, I've announced a number of the events. Always had a blast announcing them. It's grown quite well for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's awesome. We just had a fucking amazing show a few days ago.
Where was it
EBI
at?
Absolutes. It was awesome. It was in Texas, El Paso, Texas, and you can watch it on UFC Fight Pass. You can watch that replay. It was a fucking insane show, right, TJ?
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, I loved it. Bruce, you probably don't know about this, but the talk of the jiu-jitsu community right now is a 16-year-old kid, Pat Chigoli. They call him the Adult Slayer. He won 6 matches just to get into EBI, and then won his first match by a pretty vicious heel hook. And at 16 years old, this kid's hanging with some of the best jiu-jitsu players in the world.
It's amazing. We see these young guys coming in that are showing people in the dojo, stuff that even the adults don't do. It's like a whole new breed coming out. It's amazing. Yeah. The whole evolutionary process of the sport blows me away. Totally blows me away.
Well, I think combat adds a whole other level to it as well. The night before we had EBI, we did Medusa, which is all women's, that has both EBI and combat jiu-jitsu rules. And one thing that I didn't really expect, but it's been on display every time we've done combat jiu-jitsu, is the atmosphere in these buildings, compared to sub only and then combat jiu-jitsu. It feels like a full-on fight night. Yes, I know they're not elbows. They're not kicking each other, on the feet, but it feels every bit as high pressure and action-packed as any mixed martial arts fight night would.
Well, I agree. Listen, I just did the ADCC event in Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was probably 12,000 people, 10,000 people in the audience, and they were going crazy. And that's not even combat. That's just straight jits and submission wrestling.
Yeah, there's a percentage. I don't know what it is, maybe 15%, maybe 40%, but there's a percentage of UFC fanatics that love the jiu-jitsu aspect of MMA or UFC more than the striking. And I'm included in that, because before the UFC, we had kickboxing, we had boxing, we had karate. It was when the UFC blew up, not because of the striking. We already had all that. The UFC blew up because people were going to the ground and strangling each other and trying to break each other's limbs. We've never seen that before in the United States. It had been around in Brazil and in carnivals all over the world since, the Industrial Revolution. but we didn't really, all we had in the United States was boxing and a little bit of kickboxing. So when the UFC burst onto the scene, people were blown away, not because of the striking, because of the jiu-jitsu. So, fast forward to today, there's a percentage of the UFC fan base that is watching for the jiu-jitsu. And there's a lot of fans that don't even watch the UFC no more because there's not that much jiu-jitsu. They just want to watch the jiu-jitsu. They're not interested in the striking.
Right.
So combat jiu-jitsu is for those UFC fans that just want to see the jiu-jitsu with the strikes. And that's what the combat jiu-jitsu is for a percentage of fans, the best part of the UFC. For me, combat jiu-jitsu is the best part of the UFC, concentrated, and that's all you get. You don't get anything else. You don't get the wrestling. You don't get the striking. You don't get any of that. You just get jiu-jitsu with putazos, cachetadas, strikes. People call them slaps, but they're not slaps. These are full-on nose crushers, orbital crushers. They're not regular slaps.
Hey, I can knock somebody out with the palm of my hand, like I know you can too, Eddie. The bottom line is you place that, or call it a punch, call it whatever you want to call it. You place it right, the effect is still the same.
Oh, we've seen it. We've seen it in combat jiu-jitsu. There have been knockouts. There have been technical knockouts, but there have been straight up knockouts as well.
Yeah. And there have been nose broken, orbitals broken, eyes shut, closed. It's pretty brutal.
Let's take this to another level with another thing that's happening now with Dana White starting the whole slap fight organization.
Power slap.
How do you feel about that, Eddie?
It's cool. I would watch it,
I watch it for fun, have a beer.
Combat jiu-jitsu is way fucking better because you get like real legit athletes doing real legit jiu-jitsu, and you get that shit. So I would rather watch combat jiu-jitsu because you get everything you get in that, plus you get high level jiu-jitsu. So it's cool. I'll watch it.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I was trying to compare the two. It's just, what you thought about it. But in that, you're going to see people getting knocked out. You're going to see people getting, hurt in that one too.
How do they decide who goes first? Because
that's a great question.
Got to toss a coin or something.
Yeah, whoever goes first. What if you knock the dude out? Then it's over.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. They're going to have a press conference, I think, during the UFC in New York to sort of give out some more information about that. But
you guys might laugh at me. My laugh at me. I actually said to Dana, I said, Dana, could I compete?
Hey, Buff, you go out there, you go first. And then if the guy's still standing, you got to pull out due to injury,
I'll just make sure that I have at least 2 weeks before my next event for any black eyes. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
My hand.
Yeah, I'm out.
Hey, we missed one more fight. I want to ask you another question about two other things. Oliveira and Makhachev.
Dude.
He's the real deal.
Woo, yeah.
He's the real deal.
Yeah, he really is. He proved himself. Like, people were wondering how their grappling was going to match up. Charles Oliveira got some high level jiu-jitsu, but Islam, whoa. The difference was just his wrestling. His jiu-jitsu is really good too, but his wrestling just wore his ass out. And that arm triangle, I think Charles Oliveira was done at that point anyways. But Islam he's just like Khabib. He's just relentless. It's like shit.
I hate to say this, but I think he's better than Khabib. I really do. He obviously has to live up to that resume and sort of, outshine Khabib, but he's got all the skills and tools to make a long run. I'm not going to say that he's the greatest of all time by any means right now, but he's got everything he needs to have in his trick bag to put together a run like that.
Very true.
Did you know that oh man, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Go ahead.
A little too much of the herb there, Eddie.
Yeah, I smoked a lot of weed. I'm sorry. I forgot what I was going to say. But Islam is the real deal. Him beating Charles the way he did, man, I don't know. Who do you think at 55 can handle it?
I don't know. I'm not saying nobody can, because anybody can win on any given day. But when he's the top of the heap. There's no question.
Who's top three right now at 55?
Top 3, 55. I'll pull it up right now, but it sounds like they want to make that Volkanovski match, which is obviously more of a super fight, but
Such a size differential there.
yeah, but Volkanovski's done enough to get people interested. And like we were talking about earlier, this isn't necessarily a meritocracy. This is more about, getting the people invested in what you're doing. And
I saw
getting
Conor
them to-
McGregor, his tweet or whatever about that. He says, "Oh, what a matchup! It'll sell 10 buys."
yeah, I mean, that's a little crazy, but all right, here we go. We got lightweight division. Islam obviously champion. 1 is Oliveira. 2 is Poirier, who is fighting Michael Chandler coming up here in a couple weeks. 3 is Gaethje. 4 is Beneil Dariush. 5 Chandler. 6 Rafael Fiziev.
Damn, I don't know, man.
That's
I
a
think,
deep heap.
Yeah, I think Islam fucks all of them up. I mean,
Think about it. You got
how
Islam.
are you going to deal? It's really all about how you going to deal, because they got stand up too. Even Khabib had stand up, and so does Islam. They got legit stand up, but really it comes down to how are you going to deal with their wrestling or his wrestling, and if you can't deal with his wrestling, which is highly likely that you can't, how are you going to fight off your back then? Because if you can't handle the wrestling, what are you going to do off your back? And if you don't have a reputation for having an insane guard, you basically have no shot. I mean, unless you get some fucking lucky punch. I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Poirier would be interesting. I think Gaethje would be interesting if Gaethje's able to catch him on the feet. But I don't like Gaethje if he gets taken down against Islam. Chandler's always fun.
It'd be interesting.
Hmm.
Gary Tonin versus Islam. That would be interesting.
He's awesome.
Gary Tonin has the groundwork to deal with that shit.
Hey, let me tell you, we're on that subject. When I did that ADCC,
but he's not in the UFC, so that's
is Gordon? I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm sorry. Is Gordon Ryan? That's the one that won the ADCC, right?
Yeah,
Gordon. He's like 220.
Gordon.
Yeah, but I mean, is he still competing in your show?
No, he just signed with Fight Pass Invitational. He's gonna do a super fight.
Yeah, I heard they're gonna do a number of those shows.
Yeah,
in December. Yep.
He's a beast, man. That guy's like Thor. He's a beast. Oof.
And he was the late replacement of what, EBI 6, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, like to see what he's done in that space. Like, honestly, being an MMA fan, there's always been sort of a crossover between jiu-jitsu and MMA, just from a sporting standpoint. If you're an MMA fan, it's not hard to enjoy jiu-jitsu. For me, I love jiu-jitsu. I'm one of those percentage of the people that watches MMA for the jiu-jitsu. That said, I never thought that anybody would be able to become as big of a star just in submission grappling as Gordon Ryan has. And I mean, I don't know, he just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Well, I hear his sponsorship monies alone are hundreds of thousands of dollars, which I love hearing.
I mean, he gets it too. He knows what to do, what to say. Love him or hate him, there's a reason that you pay attention to him and why a lot of people watch.
Hey, keep winning.
Yeah, you know what? He's calling everybody out on their shit. He has no problem with being straight up on the internet and calling people out on their shit. And he does it, man. It rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but he's also straightening out a lot of people too. He never backs down from a challenge. All the jiu-jitsu greats of the past, he calls them all out. And a lot of them talked a lot of shit and he called them out on it. And, and now they don't want to talk shit no more, so Gordon Ryan, love him or hate him, he straightened out a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu world. And, and he also proved that, the gi does not make your no gi game better. Gordon Ryan has proven that irrefutably. Look what he did. If the gi makes you better at no gi, that's like saying strength and conditioning makes you better at no gi. So that would mean if strength and conditioning does make you better at no gi, it makes you better at everything, but if you stop doing strength and conditioning, then little by little you would lose some of that effectiveness that it gave you. Because if you stop doing strength and conditioning, you don't just like get to a point where you're elite level at strength and conditioning and then you can stop and then it's just going to stay there. No, you got to keep doing it or you lose it. So if the gi training makes you better at no gi. If you stop training the gi, then little by little, your no gi skills will rust and deteriorate. So Gordon Ryan don't train in the gi. He did when he was like a blue belt or a purple belt, but he hasn't trained in the gi in a long time. So his skills should be fucking dilapidated. Guess what? They're not dilapidated. There's nobody in his division that can fuck with him.
Totally
And
true.
he never trains in the gi. So Gordon Ryan put that gi, no gi debate in the fucking grave. So everyone needs to shut the fuck up about that now.
Yeah, I think you
Tell
were
us how
bringing
you really feel, Eddie.
well, I think Eddie was onto something earlier too. Like we were talking about, just the dangers of the sport, like bringing back to auto racing. Like you might be a great Indy 500 race car driver. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a good drag racer. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're different sports. And I'm sorry, like I appreciate jiu-jitsu, but gi jiu-jitsu on television, man, that is a hard sell. No gi jiu-jitsu.
That'll never work. That'll
Yeah.
never work. That's why you don't see it.
Yeah.
That's not what you're saying. And my point is, that's another issue is like the entertainment value. Like who wants to watch two high-level guys playing tug of war with their jackets? Like, I appreciate the sport. It's better than it's better than nothing. It's better than karate. It's better than taekwondo. But is it better than no gi? In regards to entertainment, it's not even close.
Let's talk about
It's not even
entertainment for a
fucking close.
second.
There's no jiu-jitsu shows with the gi that are like watching them. Everybody's watching ADCC. Everybody's watching EDI. Everyone's watching combat jiu-jitsu, the best shit. That's what they're watching.
And with
So
no disrespect,
stop with the gi, no gi debate. That shit's done, son. Look at all the stars. Craig Jones, is he training the gi? That guy don't train in the gi. He used to, but he hasn't in a while. His shit should be garbage. What about Nicky Rod? Does he train in the gi? No, he don't train in the gi. Grace Gundrum never put on a gi in her life, and she's right there she's top 3 in the world. You know what I mean? So, PJ Barch, he never trained in the gi. Maybe a little bit as a white belt or a blue belt. So let's put that to rest. Let's bury that shit, and now let's move on.
Well, now it's buried. Let's move on. Let's talk about one other thing. Anderson Silva fighting Jake Paul. Boxing, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
How do you see it?
Yeah, like if I had to put money.
I'm talking about putting money. I'm not talking I'm going to put money on it. You put money on it. Who are you putting it on?
If I'm putting how much money are you talking about?
$100.
Oh, I'm not betting you. I'm not betting you.
It's $100.
$100 is shit.
I'm not betting you. I'm not betting you.
Bruce. I'm living, Bruce. $100 ain't shit. But if you were betting like 10,
if you want to bet $100, I'll take Anderson Silva.
Hey,
you want to bet $100?
No, I don't want to bet. But I'm saying if you want me to bet, I'm going to take Anderson Silva.
I'll bet $100. I'll bet $100.
$10,000. $10,000. Now it's serious. Who are you going to bet on?
If I was going to bet $10,000, I would probably go with Anderson Silva.
Let me pull up the odds here.
Put up the odds. I'm not betting 10,000 right now. I don't bet fights, Eddie.
This isn't a fight. This is a boxing match.
I'm going to say, if the fight was during Anderson Silva's prime, Jake Paul doesn't have a chance. But Anderson he's almost 50.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul is in his prime. And Jake Paul hits hard. And Jake Paul's fucking, shredded and in great shape.
Yeah, he is.
Anderson Silva he's not in his prime. And
I'm going for the old guy, Eddie.
Gun to my head. My heart goes to Anderson Silva.
Sure, that's my point.
But if my house is on the line, I'm going to go with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
What are
the odds, TJ?
Jake Paul is a minus 190 favorite to come back on Silva's plus 160.
This is the reason I don't like betting fights. I don't like betting $100 to win, $55. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I could see this fight going either way. Jake Paul's a guy that has legit power. I mean,
how many rounds?
That I don't know.
Is there an over under on the rounds? Because that's the kind of bet I would make, the over under round bet in that fight.
I'll try to find that for you. But like the thing is, the thing that bothers me about Jake Paul and him not getting the respect that he sort of deserves is people are like, it was a fixed fight with Tyron Woodley. There's no fixed fight with Tyron Woodley. I love that.
No,
guy.
that wasn't fixed. No way. That was real as shit.
Yeah,
was
no one gets knocked out like that in a fight that's fixed. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, especially since there's no talk of no rematch. Right? Is there a talk of rematch? Like,
well, that was their rematch.
That was their rematch.
That was the
oh, there
second
was a
time.
rematch.
Well, the second time was when he got knocked out. The first time it was a close decision with Paul getting his hand raised. But yeah, I mean,
Damn, I forgot. I didn't even. Damn, I had no idea that was a rematch. Okay, I'm not paying attention that much. Too much combat jiu-jitsu going on.
yeah, I can't get
Hey,
an
Eddie,
over under on this.
while he's looking that up, you know the whole Brittany Griner, the basketball player in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tried to appeal this week, but her appeal was denied. She's going to be in jail for 9 years.
Hey, do you have the video of her talking in her cell?
I see the picture, but it's not a video.
Dude, there's a video of her explaining how she feels. There's a video.
And
That's a man. That's a man. She sounds like a man.
are you saying she's a man? Is that what you're saying?
She sounds like a man. Listen to that video. She sounds like a man. Why? I'm telling you, it's fucking.
I can't
crazy.
comment. I mean, you are this conspiracy theorist.
Hey,
Dude,
he's got a new podcast
and you know
now.
what? There is a chance. There is a chance that it's a hoaxed, altered video. But man, I don't know. Maybe it's hoaxed. Maybe it's hoaxed, and she really does have a feminine voice. But damn, that voice sounds like a man. It really does. I'm just being honest.
I can't comment. I don't know. Did you hear about the Wyoming college wrestlers fighting off that grizzly bear?
I did hear about that. Yeah.
Did you hear about that, Eddie?
Is it the one where a guy's yelling at a bear and the bear's trying to attack him as he's climbing a mountain?
That's another one. This is where if I'm not mistaken, this is where the bear was attacking his buddy, and he actually got on the bear, pulling him off.
And his face is all cut up, right?
Yeah. Arms cut off, everything.
Yeah. I saw pictures of that. That was crazy.
That's just nuts. That's just so nuts. I know Joe's been out in the field and he's come across bears and stuff, man. It's wild animals, man. You cannot screw around with wild animals.
Yeah, I almost had a heart attack the other night because I brought my garbage can up and I ran into a possum.
Hey, let me give you.
Possum wanted nothing to do with me, but it still scared the shit out of me.
Here, let's switch over to the sports side. I want to go over a couple news stories here. Let me give you a couple of stupid is and stupid does stories. The first one is very horrific. A tree trimmer last week was trimming a tree, right? He fell into his own wood chipper.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine that, Eddie?
Did he die?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not?
Yeah.
Gotta die, yeah.
Maybe somebody pushed him in there because he owed him money.
There's the conspiracy theory coming in. No, he actually fell out of the tree, Eddie. He fell out of the tree into his own wood chipper.
All right.
Maybe that's what they said. Maybe the guy said, you know what? He was up on the tree, fell off, ran into the wood chipper.
Well, here's another one that's just nuts. Okay. And I'm sorry to say it's a gross subject too, but a Republican candidate who was running for an Arizona college governing board, right? His campaign stopped red-handed, not to coin a joke, but he got found. He was masturbating in his truck near a preschool. What is that all about? I mean, he should be arrested.
There's a lot of sick motherfuckers out there.
This day and age.
What about all the people on the Epstein client list? What about all those people?
On the what again?
On the Epstein client list. What about those people?
Have they released that? Have they released that?
What about those people? Those people are actually fucking kids. What about
Have they released the names?
No, but it's coming.
Wow.
The list is coming. But
I can guess a couple of names are going to be on that.
Those people are running Hollywood. Those people are running corporations on the list. What about those people? What's going to happen to them? Yeah, fuck that dude that's sitting in the car jerking off. Fuck that dude too. Put his ass in prison. But what about those people that were going to the island? What about those people? That shit that Ghislaine Maxwell got busted for. She's in prison because she was organizing all that shit. But what about the people that actually did it? Where are they at?
They're pedophiles.
Yeah, where are they at? Where are they at?
They should be treated like any other pedophile.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Isn't it crazy that no one?
I have no sympathy.
No one's got arrested. No one got arrested for that. Isn't that crazy? That's fucking insane.
Well, those names come out. Some careers are going to be ruined, and I think there's some political people on that list too.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of political people on that shit. That's why they're burying the list. They're trying to hide that list.
Well,
want
another
that
one that's stupid is
life.
stupid. That's crazy. I can't even comment on that till I see the list. But yeah, I say you do the crime, you pay the fine. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Period. I have no sympathy for that, Eddie. I have no sympathy for rapists and pedophile people at all. None.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you.
Hey, Eddie, tell us about the new podcast you got.
It's called Look Into It. It's on Rockfin. I don't have it on YouTube because if it was on YouTube, my YouTube channel would get deleted. So it's on Rockfin. Rockfin, they're free. They are all about freedom of speech, and I get to talk about whatever I want. All that shit that was misinformation a year ago, now it's fact. All that shit that people got deplatformed for, it's fact now. They were lying a year ago. So I'm on Rockfin. The first 14 episodes are free. You could watch it on iTunes as well. But the new episodes are behind a paywall. It's kind of like a Netflix for podcasts. You pay like $9.99 a month. You get like a shitload of different podcasts, not just mine. The new ones are behind the paywall, but the older ones, the ones that are 3 months or older, they're free on iTunes and rockfin.com/Eddie Bravo. A lot of crazy shit on my podcast. We talk about everything.
I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
We talk about everything, man.
Wouldn't doubt it for a second. Hey, Drake, right? The hip hop artist, whatever the proper term is. He did a roulette spin. He won $12,240,000 on that roulette spin.
How much did he put down?
Roulette pays 35 to 1, I think.
Well, it depends if you're just betting a straight number. I mean, what is it? It's 1 to 1 if you bet red or black or whatever, right?
No, it was a spin, not red or black. It was a spin.
Yeah, but it's always a spin.
Let's just divide that number by 35. I don't know if I'm doing it right.
I'm not good with
it's
numbers.
over $100,000 it would take to make that kind of money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, easy. And that's the worst odds in the house.
Yeah.
Right, to do a roulette spin, which is nuts. John Lennon's last letter at an auction just sold for over $63,000.
That's cheap.
Crazy.
Who's it to?
You think it's cheap?
I'm just playing.
No, who is it to? Who is the letter to?
Let's see here.
It was to Paul McCartney. He's like, bro, your voice sucks. I don't know what to do. We can't get back together.
It was to his accountant.
Oh, okay.
It was to his account, and it's like 2 lines of dialogue. Please find enclosed a form of a proxy signed by John Lennon, and that's it. $63,000.
I think that actually is cheap, to be honest with you.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, I wouldn't pay for it, but.
Well, and listen, a rare nickel that was supposedly considered counterfeit, right? And I forget the year. It was like 1962 nickel.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sold for $4.2 million.
That's it.
Are you into collectibles
crazy.
at all, Eddie?
No.
It's a 1913 nickel, excuse me. I'm
no,
a big collector.
I don't collect anything.
Speaking of collection, what you're collecting are your comedy shows. Tell us what's happening on your comedy circuit, where you're appearing next.
I'm gonna be in Calusa. What is it? December. It's like December. Calusa, and then Fresno, first week of December. You can go to samtripoli.com for more details. I tour with Sam Tripoli. We do a thing called tinfoil hat comedy. We go all over the country. Like I said, Calusa, which is Northern California. It's a casino. We used to do Gladiator Challenge. I remember that shit, Bruce.
Yeah. God, yeah. Yeah, sure.
And then Fresno that next day. And then we also go into Tacoma and Spokane in February. So you can go to samtripoli.com for more information on that.
Are you working with Sam? You're working with Sam?
I'm also doing, with Sam. Also doing a tinfoil hat comedy in Huntington Beach, California, November, I think it's 17th or something like that. It's a Wednesday or Thursday in Huntington Beach at the Rec Room. Again, samtripoli.com. We're coming to Huntington Beach, Calusa, Fresno, Tacoma, Washington. We'll see you on the road.
Oh, that's great. Sam was my partner and producer on the comedy show that you appeared, the It's Time comedy night. which I haven't done. And then COVID hit and I didn't do another one after that. I would love to do more of those. He's a great guy. Will you tell Sam I said hi, please?
Was that before?
It was right before COVID. I started that. We did it at the Laugh Factory in November, right before COVID hit hard in January, February.
Okay.
And the Comedy Store wanted me to start doing shows once a month at their place, and then everything closed down. So
yeah, well, it's a Comedy Store's roaring, so you should look into the Comedy Store again, man. Because the Comedy Store's kicking some major ass again.
Trust me, I'd love to do it. It's so much on my plate, Eddie, as you know, with you, so much on your plate. You can only do so much at one time, but I definitely want to do another comedy night. There's no question. Of course, I'll call you when we do. Candy prices are soaring, the most since 1999 for this year for Halloween. Did you guys hear about those daycare workers who use like Freddy horror masks to scare all the kids? That totally, they went into the daycare and the mask scaring all the kids. The parents are totally up in arms. They're going to be charged with felony child abuse.
I mean,
how would you like that, Eddie, with your kid at a daycare center, just coming into his own, learning about life, and somebody comes in and tries to scare the shit out of him?
Yeah, that's why I never had my kid in daycare. Like, I wouldn't do that. You can't just have people walking in when your kids are there and just.
No, it's.
I mean, that's the least of my worries, though.
Oh, I know what your other worries
are. If they would have came in and like stole the kids or kidnapped the kids, that's way worse. But just scaring them, I'd have to see the video.
The video is pretty. It's pretty heavy.
Oh, there's video.
There's video. Yeah. There's video.
And the kids freak out and scream.
Yeah, from what I saw.
Oh, damn. Send me the link. I want to see the video.
You know what? Hit TMZ. They got I know it's on the link, but I'll try to find it for you and I'll shoot it over to you.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Now, the last thing I want to go over is Kanye West.
I keep like, what did he say? I don't even know what he said. I'm like trying to look at, he said something about Jews.
Yeah, it was an anti-Semitic statement. And what
did he say?
Coming on the back of White Lives Matter.
I was trying to find like what he said. I'm like, I can't find what he said. What did he say?
I will tell you in one sec. He echoed Hitler in a news conference.
Hitler?
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about Hitler?
What I saw yesterday was a clip of him on a podcast where he was talking about how we're in a Holocaust now, and it's the same thing as what happened, during World War II, but it's with abortion instead of, what Hitler was doing. And yeah, I don't know.
Wait. He said we're in a Holocaust now because of the millions of babies that get aborted every year?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Well, people are dropping him like a bad habit. He's losing his billionaire status.
He said, wait a minute. He said we're in a Holocaust right now because of all the babies getting murdered. That's what he said?
He did say that. I don't know if that's the story that Bruce is exactly touching on.
That goes back to what he said that created this whole issue, if I'm not mistaken. So he was like on an anti-Semitic rant.
How many babies get aborted a year?
What?
Oh, what did he say? Man, I wish I could find that. I'd like to see that. I wish I could find that. Maybe they scrubbed it. I think they scrubbed it from the internet because I can't find it.
Well, he was on an anti-Semitic rant where he was claiming that the Jews who run Hollywood has screwed Jews in his words, Jewish, whatever, but who run Hollywood had screwed him over. And also claiming that repeating many of the same theories that Hitler did. I mean, it's just, he's gotten in so much trouble for his mouth. This guy's weird.
Well, we all know Jews don't run the media. I mean, it's Mexicans. Mexicans run the media.
Oh, here we go. Hey, TJ, are you Mexican? You got some Mexican in you, TJ?
Hey, listen, the Mexicans run Hollywood. All right. And if you speak up against the cartel, they're going to come get you. So watch your ass.
We had to get into one. We had to get one theory in before the show's over. There you go. I can't even comment on that one.
Just look into it, Bob.
I'll look into it.
Listen, if you look into it, dude, Mexicans run Hollywood.
Well, I can't comment, but I'll look into it.
Hey, Victor Davila runs my entertainment aspirations at this point. So
yeah, well, Victor's a good man, that's for sure. And one last note, billions of snow crabs have disappeared from the waters around Alaska. More proof of what is going on in this world. I mean, they're basically
say that again.
billions of snow crabs
Okay.
have suddenly disappeared from the waters around Alaska.
How do they know that?
The Alaska snow crab harvest was canceled for the first time because billions have disappeared from the cold, waters. They're just gone.
Maybe it's the chemtrails.
Well, here's the problem: is the snow crab population shrank from 8 billion in 218 down to 1 billion in 221.
What do we need snow crabs for again?
To eat.
To eat.
Oh, we eat those things? I don't eat
Yeah.
crabs.
Yeah.
Crabs are the insects of the sea.
That's true. I don't eat anything
I
from the
don't eat
water.
that. Hey, Bruce, are you gonna start eating grasshoppers
I don't eat
to
crab.
save the climate?
I love king crab. I don't eat crab. You know why?
You love king crab, but you don't love crab? How is that?
Because I like the thickness of the king crab legs, the thick meat, the whole bit. I've never been into cracking open the crabs and just eating a little bit of crab. I love crab cakes, when they're made right. But king crab legs are just an amazing, delicious delicacy.
Okay, let's change the subject real quick. Just one last question. Have you ever had crabs?
Oh, you mean down there? No, no. But I've had friends that had them.
Come on,
I've had friends.
Crabs?
No.
Oh, dude, if you never had crabs, you ain't fucking enough. You just
no,
ain't fucking enough.
It's who you're spending your time with, I think. But no, I haven't had the issue. I haven't had the issue. But I know those little buggers, man. They're a real pain in the butt. When I was younger, right? One of my friends had that issue, and I remember he pulled one out, and it was a tiny little thing. You could just see their legs going like this, right? They're definitely crab looking.
Yeah. What if they get in your ass? Maybe that's
Jesus,
what
Eddie, are you really going to end the show with this kind of talk? Seriously?
maybe that's what monkeypox are. Maybe they're crabs that got in your butt.
Again, I can't comment, Eddie.
No,
this is two subjects you said I cannot comment on.
You ever think about that?
No, Eddie, actually, no, I've never thought about that.
Hey, I just asked a simple question.
Actually, I don't know why, Eddie, but I've never thought about that. I can't really understand why I never thought about that.
Okay. Well, think about it and shoot me a text.
I can't wait to finish the show and dwell on that in my mind for the next half hour. Thank you so much for the vision. I really appreciate it. All right, Eddie, we're going to sign off. Tell us what's up or what you want to tell us, anything you want to say.
Man, I think I plugged everything. I think I'm good. Oh, you know what? I got a book coming out called Mastering the Metal. It's about my musical journey and how it evolved into my jiu-jitsu journey. It's called Mastering the Metal. You could pre-order it on Amazon. It's about me and my best friend James growing up, moving to Hollywood together, trying to be a rock star. He came out from Arkansas, and we went to Hollywood and tried to, we failed miserably though.
You were a little ahead of your time, though. I mean, you were before Lincoln Park, but you'd have been right there.
Yeah, Lincoln Park beat us to the punch.
No, you were before Lincoln Park.
I'm older than Lincoln Park.
That's what I'm saying. You were before them.
Eddie, how old are you
were ahead
now?
of your time.
How are you going to share with us?
I'm 52.
You got 52. Congratulations, Eddie. Be nice to your elders.
Congratulations. More like.
Dude, I'm 65. Congratulations. You got a lot going. Come on.
Okay.
I'm 38, and somehow I look like the oldest on the show. So
you're a baby. You're a baby. You need to start pumping up some Rogaine, and so you can look, whatever.
No,
like
it's a
us.
lost cause.
Is the hair coming back?
It looks good.
It looks good. Looks good. You got the patch.
Hell yeah.
Hey, at least I still got mine.
Damn, Bruce, you got all that hair, dog. Lucky.
I got that Italian blood, Eddie. It's, I got that olive oil going through my veins. It lubricates my hair. So
me too, allegedly, but I don't know where any of the evidence is. It's not in my skin. It's not in my hair.
It's all right. You got a good looking dome. I told you, if I was bald, I'd look like the Elephant Man. Looks fine this way, but not when I go this way. So it's all good.
All right. Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate the time, sir.
Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, Eddie. Love you, brother. You take care. Okay.
Love you too. See ya.
All right. Cheers.
Well, there he is.
See, how many conspiracy theories did Eddie get in this time?
I think you just made up like 17 at the end there.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah. Monkeypox and crabs or something.
Oh man, I'll tell you. Jeez. All right, everybody. Listen, a puncher's chance on November 1st. If you go on my Instagram, I just announced that we're releasing the 14-year reserve. It's called the Left Cross. and it's limited, and we're already pretty much sold out. So if you go to puncherschanceBourbon.com, you can check it out. You got the regular Puncher's Chance. It's won 6 gold medals, the top 5 best sipping bourbon in America at its price range. You've got the our 12-year reserve bottle. You've got my single barrel versions coming out soon. Going to have 105 proof. But if you can get a bottle of the Left Cross 14-year reserve, I have not tasted it yet. My partners are in Kentucky. They put everything together, but I just was told that it's literally considered like the finest bourbon my partner's ever drunk. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
very excited about that. It's so limited. I have not even gotten a bottle yet, but I am getting my bottle soon. TJ, what's up?
Not much. Extra rounds, the show I do for UFC Fight Pass. You can check that out. It goes down a little bit later today as people are getting this as this premieres on Thursday. Myself and Ray Longo are going to be live recapping UFC 280. Of course, he was in the corner of his charge, Aljamain Sterling, who defended his title against TJ Dillashaw in Abu Dhabi. We'll also look ahead to the Calvin Kattar and Arnold Allen UFC event that goes down this Saturday night in Las Vegas.
Very cool. Very cool. And for me, just got back from Abu Dhabi. I'm going to tomorrow, as the show is being posted, I'm going to be playing a special poker tournament in Vegas at Storm X, a single day tournament, $5,000 entry. First prize would be probably over 200,000. We're going to, if I get lucky enough to make the final table, it'll be about 11 hours of play. So I'm going to go in and do what I love to do. As you know, I love to go to war on the Greenfeld Battlefield of Champions, and I'll post whatever the outcome is on my Instagram. So wish me luck.
Go get it. Good luck.
Second time I've played a live tournament since COVID.
That's crazy. Long time.
And actually, call me crazy, call me whatever. I'll probably wear a mask. And you know what? It actually serves 2 purposes at a poker table. So who knows? We'll see. Anyway, just wish me luck, whatever happens.
Of course.
Outside of that, I will be in the octagon, not this weekend. Joe Martinez will be doing the announcing duties this weekend. And my next show, of course, is UFC 281. Is it? Yeah, in November. Madison Square Garden. 282.
Big one.
No, 281. 281.
No, 281.
Yep. Madison Square Garden. It's going to be great. And before that, which I'll announce that week, I'll be at the Mohegan Sun on Thursday night during Thursday Night Football for a Puncher's Chance appearance.
Nice.
So come by and say hi, but I'll be posting all that up on the
When's the last time you were at the Mohegan Sun, Buff?
The last time was the Mohegan Sun was the last time we had a UFC there.
Yeah, I don't remember when that
When was that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
Maybe like 2014.
Which one now?
2014, the year.
Yeah, probably. That would sound about right.
Yeah.
That would sound about right. So fun place. Get this. You know what? Now here, you wonder why I say travel is difficult. Okay. I have to leave Thursday morning on a flight at 5:45 a.m. out of LA to fly to JFK Airport in New York, be picked up at around 2:00, to drive 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours to the Mohegan Sun.
Yep.
Check into my room, change, and go down and do an appearance.
Yeah.
Right? For 2 hours, whatever. And don't cry for me, Argentina. I'm living a very fun
business class doesn't suck.
First class, baby, domestic first class.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Business class, whatever the case might be. But
whatever, first class, business class, it's all good.
Then the next day, taking a car, it's going to take me 3 hours to get back to New York, get there late Friday afternoon, and then the UFC on Saturday, and then pop on home. Get on back. I'm excited about that show. That's going to be one heck of a show. But we'll talk about it more that week on It's Time Radio. All right, TJ, I'm all done. You're all done.
All done.
All good? Okay.
All good.
I will see you next week. We'll be back with an exciting guest. Eddie's always fun. I like to kid his butt about, being a conspiracy theorist. Jeez.
He doesn't deny it.
No, he doesn't deny anything.
He leans into it. So,
all right, everybody, set your goals, write them down. So when you step on that yellow brick road to the future of your life, you perform, be the best you can be, whether you're a champion, first, second, third, the bottom line, be the best you can be the best everybody around you as a role model to your sphere of influence, because then you're winning. Okay.
It's time to win.
Time to win. Show everybody respect. Tomorrow it's time for me to win this whole thing. Gonna win the whole damn thing.
Go get it, Buff.
And I'm playing against top pros. Daniel Negreanu, you name it. Phil Hellmuth, supposed to be there, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's like a fight. They breathe, they bleed, they can go down. No problem. All right, everybody. Take care. TJ, you take care too. Enjoy your life, everybody. It's meant worth living. Live it up. Be a winner. Buffer out.